Hi, I'm Ethan Shulman. I'm the creator of this volumetric fractal path trace on Shadertoy. If you click around on here, you can move around the camera, and if you use your arrow keys on the keyboard, you can move. Once you have that, you can go into Buffet over here. In here is where we change all the options to customize the rendering, and go down from top to bottom through every option showing you what it does. The first useful option is on number 10. It's called Camera Fisheye. It's basically field of view. Right now it's at 1. For example, if we change it to 6, now we have a massive field of view. If you go to Sun Importance, this has to do with the lighting and basically the brightness of the sun. I find 0.5 is a very good amount, but for example, if you change it to 0.1, the sun will get less bright. And if you change it all the way to 1, the sun will be the only lighting at all, and there will be no light bouncing or anything. There will just be complete shadows. So in certain situations you may want this type of lighting, so you can change the sun importance, but in most cases I like to stick with 0.5 and get this photorealistic lighting with shadows and light bouncing. Now we're going to get into the really good options. So line 22, we have cloud deform here. It starts at 0.04, we'll just ramp it up to 0.25. So now you can see everything is super wisped, and I'm going to change that down to 0.02, or I'll go with 0.08. So you can see we've got that nice warping. The cloud deform scale is the scale of the deform. If we change it from 0.25 to 1, the warping happens way bigger. Next, if we go to 29, we've got fractal seed. This starts off at 2, we can change it to 3. This will change the whole pattern in the structure. Then if we go down to fractal seed 2, this is another number that changes the pattern. So now you can see, just by changing the numbers by 1 decimal point or so, we've completely changed the pattern and the look of the structure. Then we've got the fractal size. For example, if we change this down to 4, the whole pattern will happen on a pretty small scale. And now you can see, just from that, we've made a completely custom shape that isn't like anything we started with. Next, if we go here, we've got fractal color. This starts off at 0.9, and if we change it to 0.9, 0.5, 0.5, that means 0.9 red, 0.5 green, 0.5 blue. That will be red tinted clouds. So now we've got pink clouds. So you can change those settings and get your own cloud coloring and options. Then if we go down to sun direction here, this is represented as 3 in the x-axis, 5 in the y-axis, and 1 in the z-axis. X is side to side, y is up and down, and z is forward and backward. So for example, if we look up, the sun is right up in the sky there. And if we look, it's 5 at the y-axis, so yeah, it's 5 right up in the sky. So if we change it to -5, that's down at the bottom now. So you can see how that represents the sun direction, and tweaking those numbers can tweak the sun direction. Next we've got sun color. this is represented just like fractal color, 1 red, 0.75 green, 0.95 blue, and then I've got this star 2 here, which means multiplied by 2. If I change it to, for example, multiplied by 0.1, it'll be way darker. I've found multiplied by 2 to be a very good brightness for the sun. And now just for this example, I'm going to change the sun to be tinted blue. And it isn't that exaggerated because our clouds are red. Next we go down here and we've got sky color. 0.04 red, 0.06 green, 0.14 blue. But then we see it's multiplied by 0, so we've got a black sky background. Multiply it by 1, there is our blue background. Now that adds a ton to the realism of everything. And I think it's one of the most important options, but I leave it out in the initial example because I think it looks better black, but that's just me. This ambient color is related to the ambient density down here in God rays. I'll talk about that in a bit. Sun size, exactly what it is if we change it to 0.004 to 0.4. Now we've got a massive sun. Cloud density here, it starts out at 1.8. That is the density of the clouds. For example, if I change it to 0.02, now the clouds are extremely not dense and see-through, or the structure. Go down to cloud fluff here. This is the extra fluffiness on top of everything. I'm going to change the cloud density back to 1.5 for this example. So in the cloud fluff, if we, for example, turn this up to 0.92, we can see everything has a huge fluff on it now. So cloud fluff's exactly what it is, how fluffy everything is. Cloud roughness is the roughness of the cloud deformation. If we go up and we turn our cloud deform up, we can see the difference between 0 cloud roughness, right here, and then 1 cloud roughness, right here. It's normally good to have a mix of like 0.25 roughness, gives you a pretty good effect. I'm going to change the cloud fluff down to 0.6 because I do not want that extra fluffiness, and then I'm going to turn the cloud deform back to 0.06 to get this shape we had before. If we go down to ambient density, this is the ambient fog or global mist I was talking about before. This ambient color is the color of it, so if you change that you can change the color and the look. I'll change it to 0.02 to show you. It just adds a mist. You can actually get some nice God rays coming through here with the mist. And that is all the options for this fractal. Thank you for watching, and hope you create some nice looking images using this.